Like damn, she wanna afford a taxi. I say I want it, and she got it.
What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's get into All In from August the 25th, 2024. It took place in London, England at Wembley Stadium. The show was good because of the main event. It was great. The main event was solid. We'll talk about that when we get to it. I didn't watch the pre-show. The only thing of note from the pre-show is that Jamie Hayter, she showed up. So that's cool. So she's back. That makes perfect sense. What I am sort of kind of upset with AEW is the fact that we didn't get a video package for All In. We didn't. So immediately when the pre-show was over with, it went directly into the first match. There was no video package or anything like that. I don't know. That was weird. They could have at least done a good 2 to 3 minute video package talking about the most important matches. But that's just me. So we kicked the show off with the first match of the night. It was the London ladder match for the AEW World Trios Tag Team Championships. Oh my God, this thing was a clusterfuck. The Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Killswitch, aka Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne versus the Bang Bang Gang, Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn, and Juice Robinson, House of Black, Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Malachi Black, and the Blackpool Combat Club, Willie Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, and Pac. Pac and Blackpool Combat Club, they won. Who cares? This was just a clusterfuck. A waste of time. No story in this. I don't give a fuck about any of this. Moving on. My thing is this. If you've seen one ladder match, you've seen them all. The modern day ladder match has been so abused by AEW, WWE, and TNA. It's unbearable at this point. It's unbearable. It's just way too much with this shit. Way too much. All right, moving on. So this leads us into the Glamour. Mariah May, she defeats Toni Storm. She's now the new AEW Women's World Champion, which is great. Perfect. I like it. Match was good. Now, there was some crazy stuff that happened. So there was a spot in the match where Mariah May, she drop kicked Luther in the leg, which to me was weird. I don't know why that happened. I don't know why Luther sold that. I mean, he's probably two Mariah Mays put together. He's kind of a big fucking guy. There was one part in the match where Mariah May's mom, she got slapped for whatever reason. I have no idea why that occurred. Toni Storm, she ended up hugging Mariah May's mom. There was also a spot in the match where Toni Storm did the Storm Zero on the steel steps. Mariah May had color. She was bleeding. There was also another spot in the match where Toni Storm got a hold of the shoe. She was about to use it, but she couldn't come to grips with doing it. So this allowed Mariah May to hit the Storm Zero for the 1, 2, 3. New AEW Women's World Champion, Mariah May. Mina Shirakawa, she was in the stands looking on, so that was pretty cool. Makes sense. Really good stuff here. It seems like this is just the start of their feud, so it's not over. So I could see them doing the rematch at All Out, or they could wait and maybe do the rematch maybe at Grand Slam, which that show is having an extremely hard time selling tickets for that show. So I don't know if you want to do the rematch there, but that's what I would do. I think All Out would be too early to do the rematch. You know, give it time to breathe. So it's not over, but this was really good booking, and kudos to Mariah May for winning. This is great. Really good shit. Moving on. I wanted to burn my television. Hook once again became the AEW... No, my bad. He became the FTW champion for the third time. Who cares? This is so stupid. Excuse me. This is so stupid. Hook tapped out Jericho to the Red Rum. Taz got involved towards the end of the match. Taz locked in the Taz mission on Brian Keith on the outside. That was pretty cool. Hook winning, I don't care. The learning tree, they got involved in everything else. Typical FTW rules match. I don't care about this stuff anymore. I'm tired of that title. It needs to be banned and it needs to be retired. It serves no purpose. Hook has not had any growth since he's been in AEW, and I'm at the point where he does need to venture off and go to NXT. So whenever his contract is up, hopefully Shawn Michaels gives him a call and he can be around his peers in NXT. Because Hook, he still can't cut a promo, and I just didn't give a single fuck about this match. I just didn't. It made no sense. This felt like something that could have taken place on Collision or even Dynamite. It wouldn't have even mattered either way, in my opinion. Just a waste of time. And Jericho does need to retire. He needs to retire. I hate saying that being a Jericho fan, but man, I'm over Chris Jericho. I am over him. I hate to say it, but it's the truth, man. Jericho's just gotten annoying where he's just overly he's just overstayed his welcome, basically. He's overstayed his welcome, and guys feuding with him, he basically brings whoever he feuds with 3 steps down, you know? And I'm just tired of Chris Jericho. I'm a fan of him because I've always liked Jericho, but damn, modern day Chris Jericho now, fuck no. I'm just tired of it. Just tired of it. Hook winning, cool, but it's really not that important. Who gives a shit? Please retire the FTW Championship and figure out something else for Hook to do. Like, please get him into, like, a personal feud with somebody. Do something with the man. Do something with the guy. Like, come on. Like, he has not done anything in 3 years. Like, I just don't get it. Like, it's like he's super glued to the FTW Championship, and I'm just over it. I'm fucking over it. Moving on, what I'm also over with is the Young Bucks being tag team champions. So, we had the triple threat. The Young Bucks, they defeated the Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, and FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood. Who cares? This is another match that could have taken place on Dynamite or even Collision. It wouldn't have mattered either way. I don't care about this. This is a typical Young Bucks match. The only cool thing about it was that the Grizzled Young Vets, they showed up. They got a massive pop. And they stared down the tag team champions. So that's cool. So it seems like we might be getting FTR and the Grizzled Young Vets. That's pretty cool. That should be fun. I wish they would have stuck around in TNA a little bit longer, but they didn't, so it is what it is. But this is fine. This makes sense because They've been on Collision a couple of times. And this is a callback to one of the matches in NXT Black and Gold, I believe. So, yeah. I do think the FTR crossed paths with the Grizzled Young Vets back in their NXT Black and Gold days. I don't know. I have to look it up. But I'm more than 1,000% sure that they have crossed paths already. But this is fine. We shall see where it leads. Moving on. So, we got a video package. So Forbidden Door for next year is going to take place in London. So that's cool. So Forbidden Door will take place in London. That's interesting. Do I care about Forbidden Door? No, because Forbidden Door needs to be closed. The door needs to be slammed shut. I don't really care about AEW and New Japan. I just don't. That partnership to me has sailed. It's not much they can do. And I feel like there's something else that AEW can do. It's just, there's no point, dealing with New Japan. I mean, you've taken all their top guys. You've taken all their top guys. So why even do something with New Japan at this point? Just close the Forbidden Door. Shut it down. Moving on. The Gauntlet match. So, Orange Cassidy was out first. Then Okada was out next. Nigel McGuinness was out, which was great. So he's back. So that's pretty cool. Kyle O'Reilly was in this thing. Zack Sabre Jr. was in this thing. Roderick Strong was in there. Mark Briscoe. Hangman Adam Page was in there. Jeff Jarrett was in there. And Ricochet, yep, he showed up. He made his debut. And he fit in like a fucking glove. Ricochet is someone who I would have thought would have been in AEW basically 4 years ago. Or even at its inception in 2019. So Ricochet got a really good reaction. He didn't miss a beat. You can tell he loves being there. And then this is interesting. And the final participant was Christian Cage. He came out. So he ended up winning the match thanks to Killswitch. So Killswitch hit the choke slam on O'Reilly, and then he put Christian on top of O'Reilly. Pause. And so now Christian Cage is the new number one contender. Makes perfect sense. Although, part of me wanted Ricochet to win, because I was thinking they were going to do Swerve and Ricochet, maybe at Grand Slam. But that's not how it turned out. And I'm actually fine with this. This actually makes this actually was a good booking decision, if we're being honest. This makes perfect sense. So, we'll see where this leads. And I believe Christian can challenge for the title at any time. It's not at Grand Slam or whatever. So it's kind of like the Casino Battle Royal is kind of like Money in the Bank with a mixture of the Royal Rumble, like, combined. So that's kind of like what it's like. So we'll see where this leads. Good stuff. Moving on. So this leads us into Will Ospreay versus MJF for the All-American Championship or the AEW International Championship. Match was solid. I'm not going to hold you guys up. Solid. We got a really good entrance from Will Ospreay. It was an Assassin's Creed entrance, which was great. And I loved it. The video package was cool and everything. He came to the ring with ninjas dancing and stuff like that and doing really cool acrobatics. And Will Ospreay gets the win via the Tiger Driver 91. That's how he defeats MJF. So the match was good. They did a really good mixture of slowing down their pace. So Ospreay sold a lot. He did. MJF sold a lot. You know, they kind of complement each other. Although I wish that we didn't get the match that we got about a month ago from these guys on free national television, but such is life. So Ospreay winning makes perfect sense. And Daniel Garcia came back. So he's now back with AEW because there were reports or rumors, dare I say, there were rumors that he was going to potentially go to NXT. Obviously, he didn't, which makes perfect sense. Why would he go to NXT? To me, he's rather young. I would wait. Let him finish these 3 years out with AEW, and then, you know, try his shot in WWE. But then Daniel Garcia, he came out when MJF was about to use the brass knuckles or whatever he had. So Garcia came out, he stopped him, and basically Will Ospreay hit the Tiger Driver for the 1-2-3. Makes perfect sense. So post-match, Will Ospreay, he refused to touch the American Championship. So Christopher Daniels, he came out and he had a bag, and he unveiled the International Championship, and he gave it to Will Ospreay, and Will Ospreay celebrated. So that's pretty cool. Makes sense. Smart stuff there. Don't really, care about it. Moving on. So this leads us into Mercedes Moné versus Britt Baker, DMD, for the TBS Championship. So Mercedes had a pretty cool little entrance. She had a carriage and a buggy. No, my bad. She had a carriage with horses and all that. That was pretty cool. So her and Camille came out all decked out. So Mercedes gets the win. Match was okay. So Mercedes hit the money maker for the 1-2-3. Makes perfect sense. There's one spot in the match where Britt did the Eddie Guerrero spot, to where she handed the TBS Championship to Camille, and Camille got ejected. So that was fine. Britt was going to go for the lockjaw, but Mercedes, she countered it. She bit her hand, and this allowed for Mercedes to hit the money maker for the 1-2-3. Makes sense. We all knew that Mercedes was going to retain anyway. I don't see this feud being over. I don't know when they're going to do the rematch. Obviously, it's not going to be at All Out, so they'll save it. But in my humble opinion, I would continue this feud for a while. I would not have Mercedes go on to somebody else. She needs to feud with Britt Baker. She needs to have at least 3 matches with Britt Baker. Maybe you have Britt Baker win the second one, like a little roll-up or whatever, and then you have Mercedes get her win back. I want to say is Full Gear too late, but that makes sense because November is basically in 3 months from now. Well, actually, my bad. No, actually, it's less than 3 months. So, yeah. But Mercedes and Britt Baker, they need to have 3 matches. We need to get 3 matches out of these 2 women. It's got to happen. So Mercedes wins. Moving on. A match I didn't give a single fuck about. That was Darby Allin and Jack Perry for the TNT Championship. Coffin match. Jack Perry wins. Who cares? He put Darby in a body bag, and then Darby set up while he was in the casket. And then Jack Perry hit the scapegoat running knee, and he closed the casket. The casket door. My bad. He closed the casket lid. Then the Young Bucks came out. It seems like they're about to set Darby Allin on fire. The lights went out. Sting came out to a massive reaction. He cleaned house. He hit Jack Perry with the baseball bat, and then he hit a double Scorpion Death Drop on the Young Bucks. So that's pretty cool. Makes perfect sense. We all know why Darby lost. It's been reported that Darby is supposed to be world champion before the end of the year. So we'll see how that plays out. If it does happen, he should be champion no more than a month to 2 months. Like, he's over and stuff and all that, but he just screams transitional champion to me. Moving on, this leads us into the main event of the evening. Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship title versus career. Bryan Danielson wins. Hangman Page, he came out towards the end of the match. He tried to get involved, which he did. He got his hands on Prince Nana, and then the officials, they got rid of him and took him into the back. So there's that. So they traded a bunch of finishers back and forth from the Busaiku knee and the house call and the swerve stomp. It was a real slow, methodic match, which is fine. So Danielson, he wins the match by tapping out Swerve. So Swerve was going for another house call kick. Danielson reversed it. He hit the Busaiku knee. And then he was going for the Lavelle lock, and he transitioned it into a some type of hold. I can't remember what it was, but Danielson won. Makes perfect sense. And then post-match, the Blackpool Combat Club, his wife and kids, they come from ringside to celebrate with Danielson, and then that was it. It makes sense. Perfect sense. This was great. I love this. I love this a lot. Really good stuff here, because you could have Danielson be champion for a while. I don't know when he would lose it, but at least give the guy at least a 3-month run with the championship. You could just do Swerve and Danielson again at All Out, but I assume that's where they're going to save Christian Cage and Danielson. But I wouldn't want to rush that either. You kind of want a story to develop between those two. So I would go ahead and get Swerve and Danielson out the way. Get that out the way again. It makes perfect sense. And I'm a fan of Swerve, but Swerve was never the guy. Right now, he never was the guy. He never was treated like that. So, it's fine. Danielson winning, right decision. And we'll see where this leads. But they should go ahead and get Swerve and Danielson 2 out the way. That's what I would do. So overall, the show was okay. The show was solid because of Bryan Danielson winning. That was great. Most of the other matches I really didn't too much care for. Most of the matches on the card could have taken place on Dynamite or Collision. And MJF and Will Ospreay, that was pretty good. We'll see where that leads towards. It's probably going to lead to Ospreay. My bad, not Ospreay. It's probably going to lead to Garcia and MJF at All Out, which makes sense. Ricochet debuting is cool. I thought Bobby Lashley was going to show up, but it didn't happen, and it makes sense. We could see him on Dynamite, and then we could also see him on All Out, so maybe that's what Tony might do. It all depends. So, all in All In was okay, for the most part. Danielson winning was solid. Mariah May winning was solid. So, pretty good stuff. What did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.